Hi everybody. Now I'm not sure yet whether this is a good idea, but I saw somebody on YouTube who was putting their clay, they're throwing water and their scraps of clay and everything in a pillowcase. So I thought, well, let's see, what am I going to hang it from? So I was looking around the house for an old pillowcase. Didn't want to mess anything up, so I got this bag. It's an old canvas bag, and this is an old, it's got a handle on it. It's one of those old things you put over a skillet if you're frying something to keep the grease. It's a grease spatter screen. So I took that and suspended it from a piece of PVC that I had, and some bricks and cinder blocks that I just happen to have on the patio. So I got it stacked up here high enough that it would not touch the ground, because it had been touching the ground. It seemed to just not be dripping any water. So as you can see, it's dripping water now. I just raised it up one more brick level, and I put a little thing here and a little thing here just to keep it from rolling. We're supposed to have some weather tonight and possibly some wind, so I didn't want that to roll off of there and ruin my good stuff. I can still hear water sloshing around in there, but not like before. But the thing about this is that with the bag, it's a cotton canvas bag. It's a pretty tight weave, probably tighter than a pillowcase would have been. So I may try a pillowcase next time and figure out a way to suspend it. But this, whether it's a pillowcase or whether it's this bag or something, it has more surface area to evaporate from than it would if it was in a 5-gallon bucket. All it would have would be the top surface to evaporate from. But I'll pull some up to the top. This is it's kind of like mud pies right now. So this is called Hardiebacker board, and it's people in the trade call it a concrete board. I guess it has cement in it. It's very heavy, but it's also very absorbent. It also has cotton fibers in it, I believe. I'm not real positive on that. It's made originally to back showers and bathtub areas in construction, so that if you have a leak, this absorbs water and it prevents extensive damage. And so this comes in 4x8 sheets, just like plywood, and it kind of cracks. You can cut it with a saw, but you'll ruin the saw blade. So we scored it and cracked it the way you would glass. And so I ended up I shared it with some friends of mine. I ended up with this piece, and in one piece that's more narrow that I use at the pottery wheel. But this one is big enough for me to wedge clay on. This certainly is faster than letting it evaporate out of a bucket. It's been about 15 minutes since I came out here, and look how this is working pretty good. Look how much the Hardiebacker board has absorbed from the, that's getting dry. from the clay, it's just kind of sucking the water out of there. Turn it over and let it have a new spot. Since I'm doing chores in the studio today, I thought this is kind of a neat little tip that not a lot of people thought of, probably because I've had very experienced teachers who are pottery teachers ask me at school, my colleagues say, how in the world do you, because I used to take all the towels to my house to wash from our pottery room. And so a teacher asked me, how in the world do you keep that from plugging up your drain? And because, kids don't wipe their hands with newspaper first and then wipe it on a towel. They wipe the whole thing on a towel, so you've got chunks of clay stuck to the towels. Well, I try to have one of the students shake loose all of the big pieces before I brought them home, but inevitably there would be some that would end up in the washer. Well, the way to do this without clogging up your drain is to pour vinegar into the wash. And here's my routine. I make my own homemade laundry soap, and I even have a video on my channel about that, so you can look at that. But you can use commercial laundry soap if you want to. And then I use this OxyClean, and it is, I don't make this myself, this is purchased OxyClean. So I use about half the recommended amount for that, and then I pour in 4 to 5 cups for a load about this size. Now this is here's my little water indicator, so it's a little bit less than half full on the water level, and I want it to cover the towels, but I don't want to leave so much water in there that it's being wasteful. I need enough room in there for them to move around, but you don't have to fill it every time for just a few towels. Do small loads. So what does the vinegar do? The soap and the OxyClean are obvious. The soap is going to become a surfactant and help the grime come off of the fabric, and the OxyClean softens the water and it sort of bleaches out the stains a little bit, although it says it doesn't have bleach in it. I don't know what it has in it, but it's pretty good stuff. The vinegar is a deflocculant. We use vinegar when we're reclaiming clay, right? So it sort of dissolves it to an extent when we're reclaiming our scraps in our studio. So if you put the vinegar in the washing machine with the laundry, it's going to dissolve the clay off of this, and as it drains out and it goes through your drain back there in the wall, it's also going to go down the drain and help to dissolve that clay that ends up in your drain. Because believe it or not, under the surface of your house or somewhere along the line before it goes to the sewer, there is a P-trap. And you could get buildup in there, but if you use vinegar, I have not had a problem, and I've been doing this for, I think I've been bringing those towels home from school. Well, I did that for about 15 years, and I've been doing it at home in my studio ever since. So, and I have never had to call a plumber for a clogged drain. This is, well, maybe it's not too bad. Go ahead and mix those dried pieces in there, because you'll be letting this sit for several days to homogenize, and then you're going to end up wedging it one more time before you throw it. So we're going to wedge it to get it in a big blob, I guess you could say. Big blob, like it comes in 25-pound blobs. We're going to create our own blob. Okay. Woo! It's kind of wet in the middle, and some parts are really wet. Okay, so there's two big, that's probably about 20 pounds of wedged clay in there right now. So I'm going to seal that up pretty tight and get it out of the sun. And I think that'll be the end of this video, because I'm going to get the other clay out of this bag. It's beginning to get pretty hot out here, and I think that clay is ready to do something with. So I'm going to get that out of there and then put this up on YouTube for you. So thank you for watching, and don't forget the little laundry tip, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, bye. Take care.